question really hard when they first did it to us. And you know, before I decided to run, I sat down with my family and I told them right up front, hey, this is going to take some time. Are you willing to give up me for a little while in order to help Morrisville citizens? They were willing to do it. And I'm kind of like Mark. You know, I'll give you guys 20, 30 hours a week. I have no problem with that. The only thing I ask in return is let me have 4 hours back for a round off every day. So
Mr. Pete.
I would have a hard time on defining any number of hours required for certain residents of Morrisville. I have never placed time on my service. I am one who tends to give the job required hours to have it done once and once only. You know me. I'm in every neighborhood. I visit people on a daily basis. I don't wait for Sunday morning or election time. I'm out there in the community. I roll my sleeves up and I will work tireless as I've always done to meet the residents of Morrisville.
All right, this concludes our 3 questions at this time.
We have
One question from the audience. This is for District 1. So I'll go through the list for District 1. Let's begin with Mr. Michael Schling. Here's the question. Hopefully I won't mess up any of these words here. What specific and tangible measures would you propose to streamline the approval of business, permitting, or determining
Permitting. Business permitting.
business permitting by town planners?
Well, at this point, I'd like to have a joke. I had a joke, but I don't, sorry. I've talked to businesses around here, and I'm a business owner, and I understand this. I think, from my perspective, the town needs to take a more friendly approach to development. From the standpoint of customer service, who is our customers? Who are the people we want to serve? And I think that will help alleviate a lot of the problems I'm familiar with from going out and talking with the various businesses. They don't think it's as much as a UDO issue as maybe it's how they're incorporating inspections, how they're getting that done, where the priority is. Just recently I talked to some small businesses and they're wondering why their stores can't open but the Target store across the way is already open. And they're wondering, you're dinging us for safety issues, look at what's happening at Target. So I would say we need to sit down with development, builders, small business guys that are already here, ask them, how can we improve? And that's the way I go about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question from the audience member. At this time I have
Yeah, they're District 1, which is.
Ms. Lyons.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
Okay, what we are doing now on the council, we're looking at trying to make 2 months realistically by going through staff. We're coming up with a UDO plan, unified development ordinance, where hopefully within 2 months, we're trying to streamline everything so, you know, when you go through plans within 2 months. That's why we're looking at this UDO plan.
Thank you. Okay, I have a question here for our at-large candidates. You'll each have a minute to answer this question. I'll read it to you. A common statement in today's culture is government should operate like business. What does that mean to you, and do you think it's possible? We'll start with Mr. Stolman.
I agree that the town government should run like a business. The revenues are obviously what the state gives us, it's property taxes. Expenses are police and fire protection, road improvements. The real question here is, what is the profit of the town? Well, the profit is not what's left over if we don't spend all your money. It's what's out there. It's the parks. It's the livability of our town. It's everything that makes a town what it is. If we do a very good job, you're going to be in a fantastic town with everything that you want. If you don't, you're going to be living with things that need to be repaired, neighborhoods that are not kept up. So, to me, the profit is really the town itself and how livable it is.
Mr. Martin.
Government, to me, is a non-profit organization. We have to serve the residents and serve to the best of our ability. We we run things by the tax that we see or money that comes in from raising salaries. So to say they run government as a business, it makes it difficult. The laws are different. Yeah, the outside entities don't have fire police to deal with it. And therefore, it's totally impossible for us to run the government on a profit. There's no such thing as profit in a non-profit.
Mr. Falzon?
To me, this means that we should establish metrics to measure results just like corporations do. It means that government growth should mirror the growth or the contraction of the economy so that it never becomes a burden for the taxpayer. It means that government should be offering defined contribution rather than defined benefit retirement plans to its employees because, like businesses, we simply cannot afford to pay a worker for up to 40 years after they stop serving the public.
Okay, so this next question is for, we're going to jump to the other side of the panel there, at large, unexpired. What do you view as the top transportation project for the town of Morrisville? We'll start with you, Mr. Rao.
Well, I think the top transportation projects that come to mind are, for me, NC 54 as you're driving towards Morrisville Commons. As you push Savannah near where I live, that's really bottlenecked. A lot of complaints about that as I talk to citizens. I think there's also increasing congestion towards the Park West, even though they widen some of that road and it's getting worse and worse. And then also I see a lot of traffic coming in on 54 the other way, going towards Cary Parkway. And then there's also traffic around McCrimmon Parkway where they're considering building new town hall. So those are three or four that come to mind. And I think we need to ask ourselves, do we have the adequate infrastructure to deal with increasing growth? And I think the council really needs to take a strategic look at this, look at where we can find the funding. And I've got some ideas on that to actually invest to solve this problem because it's going to get worse.
Mr. Cowley? Hawley?
Oh, sure. Please. Not crawling. Okay. The future transportation strategy, including bus and light rail, are important. But in order to be successful, we need to find a way to maintain our current road infrastructure, unlike this leave us now. Our roads are in need of maintenance. Even after budgeting over $500,000 for street maintenance in 2001 and 2002, we are still left with over $3 million of existing repairs that are necessary. So those are roads that already need $3 million in repairs. We need to address that. If we choose to delay the maintenance of these roads, they will continue to degrade and the cost of the repairs will increase. We can either pay for them now or pay more for them later. Streets have a life expectancy maintenance schedule, and a large percentage of our roads are approaching the maintenance required age, and they're going to require attention and funds pretty soon. So instead of sort of piecemeal certain projects, I think we need to address the larger issue and really get that taken care of first. Thank you.
Silence.
Yeah, and it's difficult to add to what they both said because I agree with what they both said already. The only thing I would add is on certain roads where we may not be able to fully expand, if we can increase the length of the turn lanes. I live right here off of Morrisville Carpenter, and it often takes me 5 or more minutes to turn out of my development. And it's taken me working at Quintiles 10 minutes down the road, 40 minutes to get there. So I deal with the traffic problems on a very regular basis. So again, I think increasing turning lanes or adding turning lanes, possibly off of Morrisville Carpenter, for example, onto Church Street would help. The only thing I probably disagree with a lot of people is I'm not sure about the economics, again, of the light rail station. I think that needs to be studied a little bit further, and I really think we need to get into your minds, the community's minds, as to whether or not you would actually utilize that.